We have just 2 more maps for you guys tonight. It's going to be Liquid and Dignitas squaring off over 2. But before we get there, we're going to take a look at the top 5 plays by PaySafeCard of week number 2. Let's check it out.
Skadoodle peering out towards Catwalk. There's the shot, and Nitro has missed his opportunity. And Skadoodle, that's a great flick up. Gotta follow it up with a 4th in the round. He's a beast. He's a monster.
Actually decides against it. Here's the players coming his way. And this is just going to be a shooting gallery for Cirque. In with a 2nd. Doesn't really want to run the risk of going down, but does stick around a bit to try and help out Fugly. He now finds himself in danger, but Cirque is the man to rescue him. That is fantastic. Gonna get there very quickly, but Nitro holds down the angle, does spot out 1 and a 2nd and a 3rd. Nitro makes it look incredibly easy. Almost too easy, as he's going to go back in for more. Nitro is doing it all right now. It all falls onto Tarek, 1v4.
Config all alone. He's going to pounce right now. A double spray down, goes for 3. That's beautiful.
Smoke goes very deep. Simple will absolutely welcome himself to that. He always does, and he does it in style again. Zontara's and Engine go down. Simple certainly capable of this, but a challenge nonetheless as he goes out. Alex quickly scooped up, just gets around the corner, and thank you very much for firing the shots, Major. I now know exactly where you are. Obviously speaking from Simple's perspective, but I'm not quite as good as him because I probably would have missed that shot. He did not.
The fact that he is getting 4 kills in this round after his teammates, a massive blunder there on that arch side, dropping the bomb, going down through the smoke to Calyx with a lifeline. Na'Vi need. Ooh, waiting. No idea where Paz is. He's creeping in. He's entering into the bomb side, jumping up on the box. He swings around, he's going to find the headshot. Simple with the ace to get Na'Vi back in his half.
Liquid and Dignitas set to square off across 2 maps in Mirage and Train. My name is Trey, son of Saranthus, here at the Xfinity Analyst Desk. And alongside me is Pimp and Halvor, or Vendetta for short, or long, however you want to look at it, is what it is. But what was short tonight was Splice's showing earlier. Now we may be seeing yet another one-sided affair in this Liquid Dignitas matchup.
Yeah, it's not the most balanced out matchup you could have in this season, really. Obviously, Dignitas having a bit of a rough start to the season, and Liquid not so much, obviously having, or still undefeated, for now at least.
Yeah. That's true.
Outstanding, Pep. Outstanding analysis brought to you by Mr. Jacob Vinicki.
I mean, to follow up on that, it is what it is, you know. Yeah. A team with 0-4 and a team with 4-0. I don't know if there's much more to say.
It's like we painted a pretty grim picture for Renegades versus Splice. This is kind of just taking it to the extreme, I feel like. And that's the worrying part, right? Because you want to at least try to dig up some sort of semblance of hope for Dignitas. But at this point, it becomes very generic stuff, as in, look, you hope to see them improve.
Well, how about this? Why don't we reintroduce these characters over on the Dignitas side and take a look at the Dignitas lineup? Because I guess it would be very important to talk about this team that is seemingly full of, I don't want to say unknowns, but that is seemingly the roster that we have here.
That's just the way it is. It is unknowns in many ways. This is new players who are new to this level in that sense. And we can get the names up on the screen right here. We can see we have Mitch, Voltage, One Grim, MCE, and Exceed, I think he's pronounced. Yeah. And it's Exceed. Well, there you go. It is fairly new names. I'm myself contractually parted to Team Dignitas, and I have something to do with them, and I don't even know them, you know, in that sense. And let's be honest about it.
Well, yeah, no, honesty goes a long way.
It is new guys on the block, you know. Not saying they're not good, but just saying that they haven't made it there yet. And I feel it's one of those teams in this league right now who is fighting with the teeth, you know, in order to basically just avoid going down into the Mountain Dew League. And they just want to avoid this relegation stage, and they just want to put themselves in as good as a position as possible in order to avoid going down into the Mountain Dew League again. They had to gain experience. They had to try their best, and we'll see how far that's going to take them.
Well, right off the bat, we say Dignitas is 0-4, and it's the truth. The numbers don't lie. In fact, it's International Pie Day. Did you know that, guys?
It's a shame Jason's not here.
It's a shame that Jason's not here. I've said that line many a time before. Now, we can look at the 4 matches here that Dignitas has played across the season. You're going to see a pretty much roller coaster of a ride for these guys.
And that's telling the full story, right? Because one thing is they're 0-4, but the fact that they've lost to Complexity so convincingly, and same goes on for Luminosity, without even putting it to double digits against LG, that tells the story of the Dignitas lineup not being ready for this level, basically. They haven't been able to show what they're capable of yet, or at least not on this level. So losing that convincingly 4 games in a row, that tells a story about a team that is maybe having their hands full in ESL Pro League. You know, this is the first time they're in here, so it needs to be better, and if they want points in this league, they need to get to 16 first.
Oh, serious though, it is actually Pi Day, 3.14.
I don't care.
Do you know the rest?
No. Come on now, American education, please give me a break.
All right.
Yes, they did qualify for the Pro League through the Mountain Dew League, of course. The quickest, best way to make it up here to the pro echelon. And they certainly deserved it. They've earned their right to be here. Now it's time to, dare I say it,
Prove their worth.
put up or shut up.
Oh, cheeky.
Pimp, is there any hope? What can these guys have possibly against this Liquid lineup tonight?
I mean, there's nothing that tells me that they can go toe-to-toe with Liquid, let's be honest. Liquid is one of the best teams in the world right now, a top 10 team for sure, maybe even better. Whereas Dignitas are currently sitting outside of the top 20, not even top 30, I'd argue. So it's 2 different teams of 2 different calibers in that sense. And we could maybe go into the talks about, you know, Dignitas being a great organization, so is Liquid. Like, there's nothing that tells me that either has an advantage in that sense, especially going up against players like you see on the screen.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Liquid does have that new training facility.
yeah, they do. So, you know, they should be primed and ready to take on this challenge.
Should
I
be
guess
the most trained.
Yeah, no, and one thing, obviously, you've got Twisted Leash, NAF, Nitro, and Steel. The one thing that kind of stands out in this lineup is that they don't necessarily have like a dedicated opera, right? That would be the one tiny bit of silver hope that Dignitas is going for them, because from what we've seen out of a Voltage so far in the season, hasn't necessarily been too bad. Obviously, they haven't strung a ton of rounds together, but at least in these defeats, we've seen some show of promise from their opera.
And oh, sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, no, it's simply just like that's at least something they have going for them, because yeah, like with Liquid, they're a bit more fluent in terms of like who can actually op. We've seen Twist pick it up, we've seen Nitro wield it as well, but none of them are necessarily fully committed to it like Voltage is. So I guess, you know, in that sense, they might have a bit of an edge in that tiny department.
I feel like we've been watching Nitro with the AWP. Since this move of NAF into the lineup, this has been their go-to guy for opping. Jacob, how do you feel about that?
I feel good about it, to be honest. I think it enables Liquid to reach their full potential in the sense that they don't need to have a dedicated AVP player. They're okay, and they're willing to accept the fact that Counter-Strike can't be played with 5 rifle players. And having Nitro as that, you know, primary AWP player who also picks up the rifle is actually a pretty strong guy to have in a position like that. It's a position I myself tried to have in the old Dignitas lineup. That didn't go too well for me, because it's honestly it's a pretty hard role to master, because you have to be ready and you have to be have your mindset on both. We saw that at Katowice, you know, where Nitro had a pretty good showing. Liquid in itself had a pretty good showing, and it just seems like this team had the composure in order to go up against the best team, especially playing those 5 rifle setups during a lot of the times. And when you have guys like Twist, when you have Elysian, when you have Naflight, these are 3 players that we consider being maybe top 20 players in the entire world individually. Yeah. Then there's a lot of potential and a lot of stuff that you can build around. And then Nitro maybe not is, or maybe not becomes that, how to say, like, I wouldn't say inefficient, but he's not as important as he used to be.
Yeah, no, I could definitely agree with that.
Impacting.
Yeah, impactful. What are the issues or what are the I guess scares I have around obviously the decision to have Nitro going back and forth? And this is something you could attest to because you went through that entire change. The fact that a rifler changing to become an opper still has a rifler's mentality. Yeah. And that can work very nicely for you in short spurts, but over time that's going to catch up to you to the point where you either start being really lackluster with the rifle, well, you get slightly better with the op, but it's not necessarily like a good enough trade-off for it to be worthwhile for you to stick on the op. That's the kind of fear I have with Nitro. The fact that if they want to lean on and eventually too much with the op, that's going to mess with his rifling ability. And we saw like when Liquid started making this kind of resurgence, I guess, into being one of the best teams in the world, it was off of extremely high level of performance from Nitro, and not necessarily with the op. So I'm a bit worried. Yeah, they've gotten Nafly to kind of take over the mantle a little bit in terms of fragging power, but it still worries me. Just from a, I guess, individual point of view for Nitro, that he might suffer some long-term damage in that sense.
I definitely get where you're going from, and I definitely agree with that sentiment. The thing for me is that Nitro is, as I was trying to say before, he's not as impactful, he's not as meaningful for this lineup anymore. Yeah. He's there to be a role player, basically. He's there to fill out the gap, and he's there to bring up the AWP and do some work with it when needed. And when he brings out that rifle, he's still a pretty good secondary rifle in that sense, you know, when you consider, for now, right? But when you consider him to a guy like JDM, there's no way that JDM ever would have gotten better than Nitro with the rifle. So in that sense, I think that's a fine trade-off. And I think Liquid have adjusted, and I think Liquid have accepted the fact that Nitro is not supposed to be the star player anymore for them. He's supposed to be a role player, and he's supposed to do good. And I know Nick, and I know Nitro from playing with him. He is, and that's what worries me the most. He's a very... how to say it, like unsecure guy in some ways. Like he wants to do good, and he wants to be showing off good at all times, and he gets unsecure about his own performances when he doesn't perform. So I think it's very important for Liquid, and especially Zeus as a coach, to come in here and tell him, like, you're doing your job for the team. It doesn't matter if you don't put up the stats. It doesn't matter if you haven't had the same games that you were talking about back in the days where he was the best player. All you have to do is be good enough for us to actually elevate the place of Trist, Elish and Nafly, and that I think Nitro can do, because he is incredibly skilled as an individual. Maybe not the most smart player out there. He is a smart guy, that's for sure, but not like a Flusher Tyro player or Glaive Tyro player, but a good enough player individually to carry on that and take that role upon him. I think that's going to work fine for him as long as he's okay with not being the star of the team.
Again, it's more about like focusing on your team getting 60 rounds on the board, whether or not you have 30 or 10 frags, really. Here's
the most important part of that you guys are missing. Nitro is from the South, and as another fellow Southerner...
What would you know about that?
Listen, as a fellow Southerner, crawfish season is in. So Nitro, I know the power of the crawfish is coming through you right now. It's ready to drip out right onto that keyboard and mouse. And perhaps the op gods will bless you as well. Looking at this matchup, guys, Liquid having coming into this matchup, they 4-0. They're looking good. We could take a look at some of the head-to-head we have for Liquid right after these lines. This is Bet line, of course, from Betway, which is seemingly the tail of this matchup. It's pretty rough for Dignitas, and that the betting odds didn't need to tell us that.
Somebody might feel lucky, though. I mean, if there's ever a chance to, you know, put a little bit of coin on it.
Pimp, you know, put his entire life savings on Renegades earlier, so he was feeling
the same
himself.
On Dignitas?
Nah, I don't know that. Really? I don't know that. But I mean, I've never seen odds like that before. It tells the story. You know, sometimes odds are meaningless, but in this case, they're spot on. Liquid are the heavy favorites, and it would require basically a miracle for them to lose them against Dignitas.
Well, let's take a look at the 4 matches that Liquid do have under their belt. You will see 2 forfeit wins. That's 2 16-0s over SK Gaming. Now, that will change things and be a little bit more interesting down the stretch as the season develops, as we look into the playoff contention. But if we look at this matchup that they've had on the other side of it, where their 2 victories come out over Cloud9, 1 in overtime, of course, you can kind of look at that and say, okay, that's 2 of the biggest hitters on the block, and we've already taken care of those 2.
Done and dusted, you have to be super happy about that.
Super happy. Puts them in such a good position going into the later part of the season.
Especially with how they won that second game versus Cloud9 as well, because they were down something like 14-7, 15-8-ish, around that on Inferno. Managed to bring it back, go into OT, close out the game. And obviously we know that, you know, Cloud9 have plenty of experience of playing overtimes on Inferno, so not necessarily an easy task to do. And so Liquid just being extremely impressive right off the bat, and it just kind of goes in thread with what we've seen from them during all their tournaments, be it, you know, Katowice or Star Ladder or what have you.
And this is where we get to see Liquid being a real top team in that sense, you know, because one of the problems we had when I was playing with Liquid was that we were pretty good when we were playing well, but when we were playing against less good opponents, we tend to play to that level in the sense that we lost a lot of maps to teams that we should 2-0, and that has been a problem for Liquid for quite some time. So I feel like this is a Liquid team that is constantly evolving, and I think we're seeing a Liquid team that potentially could go through this season with maybe only 1 or 2 losses, and to be quite honest with you, it's not going to be against Dignitas. It could be against NRG, could be against Luminosity, for an example, or something like that, but they're not going to lose a map to Dignitas. It's simply just too good of a team, and having Nafly on the team, having Elish, I'd say 2 of the best players in the world right now. It's tough.
At that point, you're not even relying on strategy almost.
Doesn't matter.
You're relying on just the sheer firepower that your team has behind you.
And that's a mentality they go in with this as well. Liquid knows that they don't need Zeus to prepare madly insane for this game. 100% they're going into this game, you know, saying we'll play on our strengths, we just play our defaults, and if that's not enough, then we maybe take a pause and we figure out something on the way. But they don't prepare hard for a match like this. That's playing into Dignitas' advantage. You know, you just want to go in there and you know that you're the better team, you know that you're the better individuals, and you know that you should be winning no matter what. So there's no need to prepare for that. You just go in and you just kill them. And when you give the players that mindset, it usually also makes them a lot better and able to feel more free and more fluent in the
confident.
game.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that the storyline there would be giving them the sort of confidence you need to go out there and take aggressive picks.
Exactly.
Play like this is your map. And for all intents and purposes, that map is going to be Mirage. That will be the first map here between these two teams. And I don't think for any stretch of the imagination that changes anything for the Dignitas side.
No, I mean, regardless of what map you bring up here, Liquid are going to be heavy favorites. So it doesn't matter if it's Dignitas' absolute best map. You know, they have a sterling record on it and what have you. They haven't gone up against the likes of Liquid. And that's really what it comes down to. And the fact that they're really going to have to, you know, make Liquid respect them. We saw this when Fnatic was the most dominant team in CS. The fact that they would literally just play bully CS. They would run at you until you stop them. That might take 3 rounds, might take 5, might take 11 rounds before you actually figure out how to stop the aggression coming out from, you know, the overwhelmingly better team. But until you actually do that, they're not going to care.
Right.
So, you know, for Dignitas, point 1 would be, you know, make Liquid respect you and actually allow you to get enough time and space to actually set up for your defaults and see what you can do from there.
Give Liquid a reason to respect you. No respect, Counter-Strike can be some of the most lopsided, most powerful things that could possibly happen to two teams in a matchup.
Oh, yeah.
But in this instance and in this matchup, I know where your guys' hearts are, I should say. Pimp, especially rocking the Dignitas colors on your sleeve. Give me a scoreline here on Mirage, fellas.
I mean, I hope we're going to see Dignitas, who's actually putting up a fight, because they know it's not against Liquid they're going to take the points in the season. They just need to get out of here with the skins on the toes. So if they can get 9, 8 rounds and just have a fair fight in the game, then I would be happy for them. I think it's going to be 16-2 for Liquid or something like that.
Wow, Halvor, really quickly.
Yeah, no, again, 16-3, 16-4, maybe picking up a pistol, that kind of thing. That's all I have for them.
That's all you got. Hopes and dreams, or more so memes and new teams here. By new teams, I mean Harold and Jason. That is the tag team duo that has returned to us once more to bring us the final 2 maps of the evening, fellas.
It's a nice little Price is Right situation going on over there. Pimp goes with 2, Vendetta goes with 3.
You're going to go with 4?
I'm not going to go with 4. You actually said 3 or 4, so you've taken both of them. You've double jeopardied us.
That's not fair.
Well, yeah, we are going to get live after all the insanity. We're just getting worse and worse as it gets later and earlier. Mirage going on, and I think that's a pretty fair assessment. Dignitas shouldn't be expecting to take wins this season off of teams like Team Liquid, but you want to see some improvement throughout the season. See them be able to put up a fight here. And as well, I've mentioned a couple times, I've met these guys. I hope they are able to put up a fight. I'd like to see them do pretty well here in Invite. Naf, not even going to stop moving, going to get a headshot on a Mitch, and there's Twists. Some of the routes that were ran were doubled up, and this is a tough situation for Dignitas to be in. A 2 versus 5, now 2 versus 3. The bomb is down, there's no utility. That's a good kill, and all of a sudden, Dignitas has taken advantage of some over-peaking from Team Liquid, and they've got it into an equal situation.
Yeah, they've ended at 2-1-2, and they're going to go ahead and leave A. They fought hard to take control of this area of the map. Now they start to retreat over towards the B-bomb site. MC maybe lurking around a bit later in mid, but now he joins up with Voltage, and Ali's going to get there fairly quickly.
Nitro's on that flank as well, and he's got to be super pissed. He just rotated all the way from B to A. Now he's got to go all the way back from A to B, flanking the whole way, not seeing anyone. Bomb carrier tagged down to 17 HP. MCE out in the open. He absolutely cannot fall here. And all the meanwhile, Nitro now taking his time. Just because this has taken so long, they might get the idea it's coming in, but Elise just has to hold on to market, and he's done that. And it's all over. Voltage, maybe I speak too soon. 2 HP, not able to adjust. Nitro is too far out, and his patience is rewarded. His long trek back and forth across the map has yielded him 1 kill and a defuse.
Yeah, as you said, he saw everywhere. He went from A to B, and then, no wait, B to A, and then A to B. But one thing is for sure, you would have alphabet your house on him winning that round. There you go, delivered it. Hook, line, and sinker. Liquid in with their first round.
Is that what you call hook, line, and sinker in your life?
Yeah.
Is that what you call a well-delivered pun?
I delivered it. Oh, actually, maybe not going to continue with that joke. Just going to mind my own business as
Okay.
MCE. He's over in mid. Nitro locking it down. Only get one, nearly a second. Some damage done.
That little metal bar really annoys him, I'm sure. But yeah, either way, this is, I mean, I think calling it like a weak attempt at mid control is a bit unfair. Dignitas obviously going for that third round buy, so not investing a whole lot, and obviously don't have the tools to fight at that range. So here you are, the AK is going to come out. Voltage can actually drop an AWP. I'm not sure they necessarily want to. I'm wondering if they're considering it just because it could catch them off guard. I think they'd rather have the utility. And yeah, I think this is a good call. When you look at what Grim, MC, Exceed, Mitch, all them bring in terms of utility, they really needed another smoke on Voltage. So he's going to go that route.
And Liege is over here towards Palace. There are 4 players right now for Liquid on this A-bomb site. Dignitas, they've got the bomb here. 3 players lying wait. Over towards B. Grim going to be waiting waiting towards the top of mid to see if any aggression comes through from Liquid. It's the attempt at a bonus round for Liquid. And I am curious, Jason, how do you see this one going while we have a bit of a lull in the action?
I'm going with Team Liquid as well with a pretty convincing win.
Okay, I'm going to go...
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm not. I was gonna try and go the opposite. The good thing with that is, right, if they win, I'm like, haha, I'm the smartest man on this desk. And if they lose, it's like, well, it was clearly a meme, wasn't it? So
is that how you want to live your life?
You know, what can
hedging your bets each way?
You gotta go for the cheap wins. That's what I say.
Okay.
That's a very bad way to live, yeah. But here's a Liege, and he's kind of nailed the way to live, at least for the time being. Just hide in a corner. And will Voltage check? He has the crossfire set up in the site. He's going to go down. Voltage does find him. Now the crossfire from CT. Exceed. A nice quick flick to get rid of NAF. Nitro going to trade, and then they keep pushing on in. The bomb's been dropped out in the open. They're trying to exceed our expectations, but right now things looking grim. He's going to find himself one. Twists locked in this duel. Does finally pick up Grim, and now it's Mitch 1v2.
1v2 and has to pick up the bomb still. 10 seconds remaining, and it's far... Well, it's in the bomb site, but, I mean, the tough thing is there's no way he can get a plant. Now they're just occupying his time. He's got to stick it here. There's a great headshot as well, but he's got to chase down the kill, and Steel knows it. Bomb timer's already down. He's going to push forward, and Steel is going to try and kill him after the timer, try and chase him down. But he's put himself in a safe place behind that box. So, a costly victory for Team Liquid, but it's okay, because they actually had kept 2 SMGs in that round. They are going to have to reinvest a lot. But so will Team Dignitas if they want to buy behind this AK-47. Mitch staying alive. He's given them a weapon with which they can use. But it's all. Deagle CZ, 1 nade on Grim as well. And here comes a Liege. He wants to stop this before it gets started spraying. Controls over. And it's actually Mitch who takes out Steel, and Naf who takes out Grim. So B bomb site is open all the meanwhile this happens. Naf has now gotten back there, but pulls out a nade. Not ready for that. Mitch is doing work. He's got 2 kills with a single AK-47 Dignitas brings into this round. He's feeling mighty confident pushing up. This is going to be tough. Liege is able to take one out on Catwalk, but Mitch again, a 3rd kill for him, but he's bleeding. He's down to 10 HP, and surely he can't do anything more as Liege comes up Catwalk to end it. Good kill from MCE, though. 1-on-1, and Nitro. He doesn't even have a kit. He's going to hop on the bomb, smokes down. MCE surely going to have to peek. That's what Nitro's thinking. It's not coming out just yet. He's playing a very ballsy game. The jump across, and surely he peeks, and he does, but dropped in the process. Nitro's not going to be able to win it, so he's going to, unless he's going to get a kit, no, he's just going to bail out. So, good win for Dignitas.
Yeah, good stuff. The nerves there from MCE lock in an early round at 4 Dig. Now, I think Pimp's word were that he hoped for 9 rounds, but he only thought they would get 2. So he's a man of little faith. Halvor didn't have that much more. He said 3 or 4. How many rounds are you thinking, Jason, if you had to guess?
I don't know.
I never liked that game anyway, because it feels very random, right?
But you felt like
yeah,
you felt like doing
just
it to
peddling the thing I hate onto you. Sure,
okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
And well, there's Mitch to go down early on. Trades. I'm going to go ahead and say 8 rounds for Dignitas. Let's be ballsy.
Okay. Well, at the moment, Mitch does all the work in the first round. They win, and now so much pressure onto that A bomb site. Steel is trying to work his way up Catwalk, and he gets caught out in the open. So nicely done from Dignitas, and actually, they're going to force Team Liquid back into this. There's no money behind this purchase from the defense. Therefore, they're going to save these weapons. Twist at 4 HP, can't really be involved in the action. So a second round for Dignitas, and they have a chance now to claw, carve out some rounds for themselves in this first half. This is looking okay early on.
Yeah, it most definitely is. And, I hate to say, perhaps I'm, being maybe speaking too soon, but I'm just going to change my prediction completely. Dig win this map, but let's go. 3-2 right now, Dignitas find a second round early on. Let's see if we can get a Dig win on the board. They haven't won a single game yet. And I mean, Liquid, that would be a hell of a team to beat. I think their losses right now versus Complexity and Luminosity, if my memory serves me correctly.
I think Complexity is the one team they got double digits against. They lost 10-16, but that was the only time they got to double digits against a Pro League team, at least in EPL. At this level of play. So we're going to get a timeout for Dignitas, a tactical timeout, as they know they have Liquid on the ropes in terms of their money, so they want to make sure they've got everyone working towards the same goal in this next round. If they were to break Liquid's economy early on, that would be a phenomenal start to this half after losing that pistol. They've had a very fast-paced, very aggressive start to this T-side Mirage. It's been a lot of rushes towards connector. And when they make a decision to go back towards the other bomb site, it's very much a group mentality. Staying packed up. Here we go as the freeze time ends after the timeout. And Liquid largely saving, actually entirely saving, behind the 3 weapons they brought into this round.
Yeah, they've put one of the rifles over here towards short. The 2 pistols reside inside of B. And MC is going to go peeking in early on. Elige up on the platform. And Steel back on the van. Nitro's currently down in mid. He just checked lower tunnel. Now he's going to go up in towards connector. If Dignitas went straight in towards this A bomb site right now, they could very easily get this bomb down. So the wall of smokes is going to rain through. Timing's everything here because Naf is up towards short, but right now he isn't peeking into middle. Connector is left wide open, and Grim's going to get boosted up. Right now, they've got no idea that there is a man in window. MCE timing's everything as to whether or not he lives or dies down in mid. And Twist's going to find it. Grim's going to come in with the equalizer. Wants to try and get more work done. Caught out, though, by Twists, and he's on to a second. Make that a third. Twist is on fire right now. As he goes and drops out Mitch. Bomb plant will come in from Exceed. Flash goes through, Exceeds in with the first, but he mustn't overextend too far, and he will. Voltage left 1v2 and a 1v2 that never should have been. He's backed into the Palace, he's dropped out Naf, and now it comes down to the one-on-one, and Voltage will find everything. As he brings that round back from the brink of defeat, Dignitas lock themselves in a third.
That was a sick final shot from Voltage. He jumps right into it. This is beautiful work from him, and a couple missed shots, but the adjustments are great, and this is just dirty. Really well done out of Steel. Twist almost clawing Liquid back into that round with 3 kills. Either way, they're still going to buy into this one. Still missing that AWP, and I think there's a misread from Dignitas in the economy. MCE has the MAC-10, although you never know these days. Some people just enjoy using it. There's an op kill from Voltage, and the no head armor comes into play. The MAC-10 shuts down Elige. Again, just straight up rushing mid from Dignitas, and it is really catching Liquid off guard. They are going to have to, I think maybe after this round, especially if they can't win it, maybe just take a timeout and say, all right, what do we want to do to stop this kind of play? And Liquid is just going to group up towards the A bomb site. Looks like they'll even just kind of give this round up, although Naf is getting here just at the right moment. Can't take out Exceed on the cross. And yeah, now comes the call to just back away. Let him have the bomb site. Let him have the round. Dignitas going to take a lead.
Yeah, they're looking good right now. Liquid saving these 3 weapons. They're going to be force buying into the next, you would imagine, on Nitro and Elige, seeing as I wanted the double eco anyway. But still, it's a very good start for Dignitas. They've very quickly taken control of the economy game. And yeah, I mean, as good a team as Liquid are, if they never have money, then they are going to struggle here. And Dignitas, they've been looking fairly confident, you know, coming into this. One thing that was always quite apparent whenever we saw them play previously, and this extends even outside of EPL. And I saw them play at the Challenger Cup versus Bravado. They looked kind of the same there, which was quite scared to really try anything. Whereas right now, they seem to be looking quite confident. They're throwing themselves into these calls that come through, and ultimately, it's working out for them right now.
It feels like one of those situations where they're just kind of saying, like, no matter what we do, no matter how wrong of a decision, that we're just going to do everything at like full speed, right? Which is maybe the best way to approach something, especially when you're such a massive underdog. But at the moment, it's working out perfectly. Twist, half HP, peeks out when they line up for him. 3 kills again for him, holding onto this A bomb site. How has he done that? There's still an AWPer, but he's scared to peek. He doesn't want to face Twist any longer. And Voltage is slowly backing away. But again, Twist has to play hero, and surely this time they win the round. Nitro, oh, a missed shot. That's not great for Voltage, and that Molotov going to force him forward, and that flashbang going to completely blind him. And he's just got to cross some fingers and hope he's still alive. Another one. There's no chance of escape here. He's got to fight forward or fight backwards, and he spotted out Naf. See if he can do it again. First kill for him. Liquid's got to try and bring as many of these guns forward into the next round as well. They can't lose too many, so they have to really lure Voltage into a fight that he doesn't want to take. Picks up the AK-47. Steel and Nitro find him. But the highlight is going to be Twist. That peek back up with half HP when they've all lined up is perfect.
Yeah, look at that control. That is, well, I mean, what can you even do against that, Jason? Yeah, when they go running into the slaughter that is Twist, he's currently 13-4. He's hands down the man showing up right now for Liquid. And that's kind of the worrying prospect. Now, they've brought down here. Dignitas have pretty much everything they could need. MC is a bit limited. That shot from Voltage would have been wonderful for them. But they forego the opportunity to find a man advantage early on. Missed shot. Now they're setting up over here towards B. They've had the most success over towards this site, but Nitro currently waits on the van with an AWP. He's going to be peeking in towards Apsy, now playing in the window, and this position's so good just to find one and then drop down. He has Steel inside the site to try and help him out, and Naf is now starting to rotate around as well. But actually, Mitch has read this very well. Nitro's been found, and that Incendiary, they are all going to sit in it for a bit. MC going to get baked, and now Mitch trying to find something in return. Won't be able to get it done. So it's back into a 4-on-4. Rotations have come through for Liquid, but Dignitas, they've peeled away.
Great Molotov from Steel to slow down that hit, and Dignitas walk right into the trap. Mitch, oh, he almost has the timing on that peak. Steel's got to be very careful, and he keeps going. He's going to get through his smoke. Is he going to drop down behind this? Naf is going to be so unawares. There's the gun barrel giving it up, and there goes Twist. Steel is still here, though. The bomb waiting to come out of these halls, but it can still be stopped. Steel takes him a second to react. There's one up top, but there's Catwalk. Elige is so far away in a 1-on-2, and it seems like Dignitas, this time they've done it again, but this time they did it slow.
Yeah, it was really nice plays back-to-back from Mitch there to actually get them into the site and find those openers. So that's now them onto a 5th. They maintain this lead, and that's actually well, not quite the reset on a Liquid. They can buy up. They've got players dropping over as well. But if they lose this one, Dignitas look good to find 7 rounds. So there won't be any money left for Liquid into the next. Already Elige, he tries going aggressive as he only had the Deagle, and he's gone down early on. Mitch, once again, the man to open up these sites. He is the knife that cuts a site in 2, and now it is all on Twists. Up on top of the warhead, Nitro does lie in wait from jungle. Holding down the angle with the AWP. Slow peek in. Mitch still hasn't spotted him yet.
I think it's going to all fall on Twist again to come up with some kind of a heroic effort, and surely he can't do it 3 times. He's had 2 big triple kills at this bomb site, him against the world. He's going to have to do it again. Nitro forced away by Molotovs, flashbangs, and smokes. Now Twist pounces, and certainly, there it is. Exceed shuts him down before being traded off by Nitro, and there's no more chance for Nitro to be involved. And again, another round that Liquid might just have to back away and let Dignitas have it. 3-on-4. They do have 1 kit on Steel, but they would have to get some kills very quickly. Complete control of jungle and now window room for Dignitas. Naf can't come through that with the Deagle. And that kill also kind of keeps them wary as it can cut off their retreat. The only bigger disaster than right now is if Liquid had all the guns taken away. Mitch going to go hunting. Nitro misses the shot, not going to miss the follow-up, and here's the M4 at the murder hole, ensuring that Nitro can live. So yeah, it'll be these two guns they bring forward. But certainly Liquid got to be scratching their heads a little bit and say, we did not expect this one.
No, they did not. And, you know, I mean, coming into it, when you're kind of the more heavily favored side, it's these initial few upsets that could really, you know, start to maybe slow Liquid down. But Dignitas poised to maybe find themselves a 7th. You have Steel and Nitro. You really have to try and make a difference. And Nitro early on, he's over here towards A, peeking into ramp. He has Twist and a Liege there, and Nitro's going to get one. Grim's come down, and he's found them both. So they have that crossfire set up, and this aggression right now is working brilliantly for Dignitas. You know, usually we see them and they're fans of playing slow. I don't know if that's necessarily them being a fan of it or just playing scared. But right now, they're playing very fast and really throwing themselves head over heel into everything that gets called.
When you play this fast, one thing it does for you as the underdog team is it takes out your ability to like kind of be afraid and make like scared decisions. Like you never really second guess because you only have one option, and that's just to keep going forward with the aggression, with the momentum. It helps that they're hitting shots like that, which has got to be frustrating for Steel. But yeah, this is all looking good, even though it's still a close game in terms of the score. Most of that is just the pistol round from Team Liquid. I mean, they won, what, the first 3, and it's been 7-1 since then. That's mental.
Yeah, Dignitas are feeling good, feeling fresh. As they continue into this one, Twist going to go ahead and try his hand. Aggression up into middle, and MC, he's not entirely ready for this. Twist is there. This time he's gone down. Nitro is able to trade. In response to this, so Dignitas, they're just charging into B, and Steel, he really has to try and step up. He's able to get one, now it falls to Naf. On the short side, Exceed executes him, and now Nitro try and pick up the mantle where he left off, but instead he will falter. Elige is left 1v3. He's already up past that Molotov, but Grim's got the idea, holds down the angle. Elige gets caught looking away, and Dignitas, they are now on to an 8th round.
Yeah, the rotations that Team Liquid had that round, and maybe throughout this whole half, they seem to be just off by a second or two, where I think it was Naf rotating up towards Catwalk with the UMP, and then it was Steel in the bomb site, just not able to live long enough, and right when Steel goes down, Naf is trying to engage, and then he's just caught in no man's land, and he has really no chance of survival. He just has to try and take one down with him. So there's been a couple awkward timings on that, but a lot of it is due to how fast and aggressive Dignitas has been. So fair play to the young guys. They're really making Liquid pay here for any kind of mistake that comes along. Naf, there's a good headshot. Can he build upon it becomes the question. He has moved into a new position. One more for him. That's MC. That goes down. Exceed. He gets dropped as well. And Naf, it's been all individual heroics for Team Liquid throughout this game. First, it was Twist who stepped up. Now in this round, it's Naf. He just has to complete it. He's been spotted out. He's been brought down to about half HP. Voltage has to know where he is. And there it is. That's Twist, though. That's from middle. That's from Catwalk. And I think Naf has just done it for his squad. He's also spotted out Voltage now. Holding on to the B bomb site all alone.
Voltage, big ask. 1v3 with the AWP, not the ideal weapon for this. And the longer he takes, the more Liquid are going to be allowed to scavenge. Already Nitro found that AK. Molly going to force Naf away. Voltage trades up onto the AK himself, but he's been tagged down low. Nitro going to finish him, and that'll be the round going back the way of Liquid. 5-8 buy comes in. There is still money left for Dignitas. That's no worries. And Voltage can be buying himself the AWP, drops one over to MCE. So they get a buy, lots of utility across the board, still looking fine. Now it's Nitro and Naf, the double up set up in play for Liquid.
Well, this better work out. 5 rounds, Nitro almost gets caught. There's Elige with one, and Steel's going to build upon it, still pushing forward. Voltage is going to hang on, 2 kills for him at top mid with the AWP. And even though Liquid lost control of mid, they made it costly enough for Team Dignitas to back away. It's a 3-on-2. Nitro at the B bomb site with the AWP. Twist with an AK-47 has gone hunting towards T-spawn. Nitro's going to be in position. That's a nice shot. Pop flash out as well. Forces Grim to peek into it, who only has 2 HP. Nothing to do but move forward into the blast radius of the grenade. A 6th for Team Liquid. They have... This is still going to be an okay half for them, but this has been shocking to say the least.
Yeah, it is. It's still a good half for Dignitas. They have inevitably won out this first half. Their buy here is going to be great, though. They've only got a Dig, 2 CZs, and 2 rifles to try and work. Could you imagine we might just see a return to their roots with a fast play in towards A? And that might be the case. 4 players over in Palace as they look to try and waterfall in. Just burst into this site. And this actually could work out perfectly for them. Nitro is the lone defender. He resides down in CT. The timing's not there. He peeks on up, does tag Grim. Now twists in with the crossfire. And he's been so good in these rounds, and this one is no exception. 2 massive kills along with the Liege. It all falls onto MCE. 1v3. Player in CT. MCE gonna first try and take the fight over into mid. Throws the flash over. The bomb's down and out in the open. That smoke gonna fade in jungle. Makes things that much harder for him. He takes the fight with Steel, wins out the first, but now Naf should be there to trade. Missed shot. MCE's been given away back into this now. It's a 1v1, and somehow he's still fighting. This is a round that never should have been. And MCE now has to go toe-to-toe with Naf. He starts to progress out through connector. He's onto the Dig. Gonna try and burn MCE out. He's gonna take the peak, but Naf wins it. Defuse gonna come on in. Liquid will find a 7th. But that comes far too close.
Really does. Some missed shots from Naf there. As it's not a player you normally expect for it. But either way, pissed around with Team Liquid. But I think everyone is going to be surprised and happy with Dignitas. We said we wanted to see a fight out of them, and they've certainly delivered, at least in this first half, a fast-paced game plan coming in, an in-your-face style. And Liquid, for a large stretch, couldn't really handle it. The kind of impact Dignitas was having kept the money out of their hands, kept the nice rifles away from them, and it was all down to heroics like this. A triple sprayed on from Twist, a triple deagle round from Naf at the B bomb site. Those are really the plays that kept Liquid in this game down the stretch. So Twist with 122 ADR and then a steep drop-off. Dignitas, it's more of a spread affair. Mitch, MCE, and Voltage all having nice ADR scores.
Yeah, I mean, right now Dignitas going above and beyond what the analysts predicted of them. I think most notably, you know, Dignitas have always been pretty good to pimp, but as they found out, it's actually not quite what they've had. It's the pimps that aren't loyal as they head into this second half. Looking good right now. Pissed around victory here would spell some success for them in the second half. And early on, it looks like Liquid have 3 players over toward B. Well, Steel and Naf stick around over here towards A. Split between Ramp and Palace. Looks like they're going to try and send these 3 players up through connector and split into the A bomb site.
There's no utility, so they're just trying to be a nuisance, keep attention away as they make this boost happen, and they want to allow Twist with this position to be the instigator. Instead of using utility, maybe he can wrap around behind someone in jungle, but now that no one's there, they've got to be happy with that. They do hear the footsteps of MCE rotating over. Good kill from Mitch. Great trade from Steel. A follow-up. That's a beautiful shot towards Spawn, and he's going to go for more. MCE challenging. Does get the headshot, but it's now a 3-on-3. 2 players flanking in for Dignitas from T-Spawn, so MCE backs away. It's all on Nitro. Is he going to be aware of this? He is going to go check it now. Spots Voltage. Gets into a new position. This is going to be so difficult for him. Just going to hold the line against the wall. Headshot for him, and Grim eventually trades it away. But still 2 to take care of. There is a kit. No utility for the CT side. And the T's are perfectly positioned to get this. They have to take out the bomb, the diffuser, and they have. They've taken him away at least. And there's the second headshot for Elige. 8-8, all tied up.
Yeah, now for Dignitas, they're just going to have to grit their teeth to go for the force buy here. And I was going to say, I was wondering if we'd see Voltage go save for the AWP, but he elects not to. Perhaps that responsibility instead now falls onto MC. He was the man with the most money. At the end of that previous buy. And already Liquid, they've got 3 players down through mid. It's a lot of aggression early on here. And now from Dignitas to really get a cap on this. There is MC up on short, but he's only got a USP, so not expecting too much. Exceeds one out of that first duel over on ramp, though. That's the man advantage found. Mitch here in connector. Shots do rain through from Steel, and now he's been smoked off, so the opportunity for them to push up through short is very much on the cards, and that's exactly what they look to do.
Sorry, it looks like they want to go towards the B bomb site up catwalk for the moment. All 4 players going to be here. There's Grim at the van, and there's Voltage here as well. Unfortunately, the rifle on Exceed is over at the A bomb site. So 2 players to take care of with the MAC-10 leading the way, and I think they've spotted Grim. Perhaps not. No, they haven't. Nitro's going to go down. Twist is going to get the trade immediately. So 1 AK-47 dropped inside the site, so Steel's going to keep his eye on that, or the back of his mind, on the fact that he can go salvage the rifle. Now Liege with an off angle should be able to take care of Mitch, but doesn't want to mess with the Deagle. And now Dignitas going to be happy to bring that Deagle and the Galil out for the next round. Keep it safe.
Yeah, it's a little bit more to work with for them. It's going to be... it wouldn't be too disappointing if one of these players do head his way, but I imagine Liquid stop here. And they will. So now Liquid back in the lead in the second half. Relying on the Deagle and Galil of Exceed and Mitch. MC still saving up for the AWP.
This is going to be a much more difficult half for Dignitas to get a hold of. You can't just group up and rush with 4 or 5 players or do some kind of fast tactic. Just naturally, based off the CT side, you're going to be more spread out, so more individual battles, depending on where Liquid want to go. Although at the moment, they're peering in towards Connector, where there's actually 4 Dignitas members, and they've paid a heavy price for it. There's a lot of kills going the way. Molotov going to burn players out. They'll be able to boost up, but they need to get this bomb planted into better positions. And Twist is spending a lot of time being certain. He's going to pop flash for a Liege. Clears towards jungle. If a Liege goes down here, it would be so tough. But he thins the herd. But meanwhile, utility is gone. So Liquid's going to have to back away for now and be very careful. Hope that Dignitas searches for some information and walks into their crosshairs because they don't have a smoke for CT spawn. And there it is. There's the punish. Exceed goes a bit too far. Now Twist has MC out in the open as well. And danger averted, but it was costly.
Yeah, very expensive indeed. Now the buyer's going to be able to come on in at 4 Dignitas. MC can drop the AWP over. Going to have pretty limited utility here for Dignitas, and that's perhaps one of these problems that we could see emerge. Voltage with the AWP had to spawn for mid, so he's gone there early on. He's now going to look to try and face off versus the likes of a Liege. To be the first man out, just missing that shot through the smoke. The timing not quite there, and the Liege is already all the way down through short. He has the bomb on his back. Does go ahead and hop down. Looks like they might try boosting up to find this short player. Grim's going to go through the smoke, and that couldn't be worse for him. Liege is actually there to find that first. Nitro, how on earth has he done that? 2 kills come his way despite being tagged to 10 HP, and suddenly this round looks like it might elude Team Dignitas. There is still Voltage down in CT, but at this point he's really dancing with the idea as to whether or not he even wants to stick around. And he will start to fall back.
Those are the kind of crazy plays that you cannot make on the CT side, is just walk through a smoke quietly on catwalk and expect to have some success. So punished for that, he'll have to learn that lesson the hard way. And so far, Dignitas doing a good job of fighting to keep these guns alive, but they still have so many players left to burn through from Team Liquid. They want it all. Liege is going to be the first one up. Voltage been spotted out, stuck in a very narrow corridor, and he's just being pinned down by a Liege. Meanwhile, the flank coming in through B halls, and surely he can't keep a hold of this op. They're all just perched up, waiting for the follow-up peek. And there's Naf with a headshot. Too many options for Voltage. Liquid take all the guns away, and they are up to 11 and off to the races. Yeah, this is just Mitch peeking into a bullet. Unfortunate for him.
Yeah, just moving on to this T side, we've already kind of started to see Elige start to come into his own a bit more along with Nitro. They were pretty quiet in that first half. It was really Twists who was the man doing damage. Since moving on to the T side, they've looked much more comfortable. They've been setting the pace and they've been finding these opening engagements. Now, Exceed and Mitch, they're starting to progress down ramp, but Naf, this is easy for him. They both go walking into the crosshair, and that's the hefty man advantage taken early on. Grim is still over here on short. Really does have his work cut out for him if he wanted to try and find some results. And as Elige rounds the corner, Grim goes down. 2 versus 5. Voltage and MCE left alive, and the USP and a CZ split between them. It's not looking too good.
No, there's over a minute left as well, so Liquid can just be quiet across the map and pretty much just find someone out in the open, out in the middle of nowhere. It'll be a 12th for Team Liquid as they start closing in on map point. All these footsteps to his left at the bomb site. Gonna take, well, Elige takes his head off. I thought it would take attention away for Naf to get the flank in, but it's not how it worked out. Twist as well, and MCE gonna die from somewhere, surely. And there's the deagle shot, and there's the miss and the kill. Back to the guns for Team Dignitas, and they need to find something that works, and they need to find it fast. Double op setup is going to be the answer for now. We'll see how that fares against Team Liquid. Nitro has his AWP. He's up to 17 kills. Elige at 19 and Twist at 21. And this Dignitas team is still getting blanked on the CT side. They've been very quiet since a very aggressive, very successful first half. And Elige has snuck his way out. And I don't think Exceed is going to spot this. Oh, this is a play and a half from Elige. He knows he's there. He's going to wrap around. Mitch is going to be so lost, so confused how he just got picked off. Voltage has an op on Catwalk, though, but Exceed has to back away. So Bomb can go down essentially for free, all based off of Elige's play.
That's Steel to go ahead and drop one more. Does have to worry about MC, who's over in jungle, but that flash actually just saves his life. Exceed's going to go down here as well, leaving it on Voltage. And an MCE. Just Voltage left. Does manage to spot Nitro running into CT, but that's it. And there's even a lengthy flank coming in from Steel to try and catch Voltage off guard as he looks to save. The rest of Liquid now going to start to pressure him back in to B. Naf's going to try and run the gauntlet here with Voltage holding down the angle.
This is the thing, the Liquid's wins on the T side have been so comprehensive. They've been taking all the guns out of the hands, and there's a jump, there's a tag, but he's now pinned down, and certainly there's no way he gets out of this one as Naf comes out of market. He was patient the whole time, and he's rewarded. 2 kills for him in the round. And again, even though the full losing bonus is there for Dignitas, they just don't have the money. This has just been quite a response from Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, you almost feel like maybe if they ran the way of Voltage a little bit more, Dignitas would have more success, because in all of these save rounds, he's always been getting, 3, 4 kills, and obviously it's a lot easier to get them when there's such low impact riding on it, and Liquid have no idea where you are. But we haven't really seen him in the defense. He's always been trying to retake with the AWP, which is never ideal. Mitch is down here early on, and has been spotted out. The CZ and Armor looking to try and do damage. Exceed's gone running through, and actually going to find himself a second, so Nitro now tagged down to a measly 4 HP, desperately needs support from Twists. Himself a second. That's actually the bomb dropped. There's an AWP down over at the top of mid, but now locks down the angle and it finishes off the remainder for Dignitas as Liquid now lock themselves in a 14th.
Well, they found an answer. Well, they basically just replicated what they did on the T side, which is just group up and rush mid as fast as possible. With pistols, it actually does a lot of damage and puts Liquid in danger of dropping around, but a great recovery, great sequence from Nitro at low HP, still getting 2 or 3 kills there right at the end on the verge of death. Looks like Liquid is going to adjust as well. A lot of bodies being sent towards this B bomb site, but all the meanwhile, Mitch aggressive on Catwalk, and this could actually backfire. MCE, I believe he's in underpass. They've got 2 on Catwalk and 1 actually at the B bomb site, and this little bit of attention being applied by Nitro is going to pull them all away. Will he be aware of Mitch and T-Spawn? He won't be. Tries to pull out the rifle. It's not going to work, but the B bomb site is wide open. They've pulled everyone away. Voltage is going to get here just in time to maybe spot one, but he's not. Steel has got to survive on Catwalk. He drops the smoke, and they're going to push in front of it, but Plumes just at the right moment saves his life. Tough times for Team Liquid. They're encroached upon from two different sides, and Steel is low on HP. He's got to play it passively. There's one kill from Mitch. Steel goes down 3 on 5, and where does Team Liquid find the kills? 2 coming up. Catwalk, so much damage dealt. Great adjustment, great tap by Twist. 4 more kills. And this guy can do no wrong in this game.
He has just been a delight to watch. That is absolutely unreal. And it seems like, you know, in Liquid, they have their backs against the wall. There is one man who will always stand tall, and that is Twist. He has been wrecking things in the server right now. 28-11, top of the board for Liquid, top of the board in the server, for that matter. And, well, for Dignitas, that was a big shot for them. Their buy here already going to be degraded down. Mitch has fallen early on. Voltage trying to do damage over in mid. MC's been spotted. Actually, it was him who had the AWP. Voltage is on a scout, so that's gone down in lower tunnels. And Voltage is desperately trying to reclaim something. Will be sent out of mid. Exceed has to win that duel versus Naf, and he does not. So now it's Grim and Voltage. 2 versus 4, as Voltage does at least get rid of Naf. But with players rotating in from behind, he's going to go down. The firing squad find him, and now it's all onto Grim. And that is exactly how his situation looks. He gets 1, but that is it. Twist, the criminal, the man there to trade, wins out this first map for Team Liquid.
The magnificent Van Dulken, an incredible game from him, holding on the bomb site on the CT side all by himself. Multiple triple kills to hold off the opposition, to stem the tide, and once you switch things over, some phenomenal post-plant performances from him, and a great recovery from Liquid, down 8-7 at half, and then blanking Dignitas in the second. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from the analysts.
Incendiary out.